Our college football Saturday continues. In the Mountain West, the cadets are all here. On the Academy grounds, CBS Sports Network drops in on Boise State and Air Force. In the Mountain Division, in the Mountain West, Boise State in the driver's seat right now. Air Force needs a win tonight to get themselves in the equation. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with Aaron Taylor. Sherry Burris joins us shortly. Obviously, there's a lot on the line, and it comes at a great time for Boise State, who is red hot and looks nothing like they did 3 weeks ago.
It's remarkable how different this team is, and it starts with the offense. They fire their offensive coordinator, their quarterback leaves. They elevate analyst Dirk Cutter to the offensive coordinator position, and there's a confidence there and a physicality of the run game that we haven't seen in Boise in quite some time.
A couple things, though. They are down there starting center and right guard is Boise State, and George Holani, their star running back, is dinged up. He will play, and when he plays, man, the running game runs.
When he is healthy, this offense is wealthy. George Holani has had an incredible year, and he's been the spearhead of this reinvigorated run game, but he's not alone. This young freshman, Ashton Jeanty, brings a physicality and a wiseness to a position that's rare for a young player. He is not easy to arm tackle.
It's not just the offense for Boise State that's playing well. The defense has been playing at a really high level right now. They face an Air Force team, best in the nation in running the football, and the resume of Brad Roberts is incredible.
By the time Brad Roberts leaves USAFA, he's going to be the most productive fullback in history. That's saying a lot when you consider who's come through here. Coming off a 4-touchdown game last week against UNLV, when he gets inside the red zone, he is the guy to keep the eye on.
Air Force's run game and Roberts certainly a nightmare. How do you handle that, Sherry Burris?
Well, Boise State defense trying to slow down Brad Roberts and this Air Force offense. And guys, it's going to be their toughest test this season, but despite the ups and downs for Boise State, the one constant is their defense. They're allowing the fewest first downs in the country, ranked second nationally in total defense, lead the Mountain West in third down defense and defending the run. And the key matchup is Air Force is the top rushing offense in the country. But good news for Boise State, guys. They're coming off their bye week, so they had an extra week.
You can't come to Air Force without a great flyover, and happy to report that Sherry is just fine down there. We saw Andy Avalos. He's taken over his alma mater. Troy Calhoun coaching his alma mater. Calhoun's done it a lot longer than Avalos has, 16 seasons. And, of course, only Fisher to Barry, the guy he took over for, the guy he played for, had more wins. All right, matchup notes. Look at this. This just blows my mind. Boise State so good following a bye week since they joined the Mountain West, 14-1. But look at Troy Calhoun against opponents coming off a bye week. He's 16-6.
Rich, it's just one of the many strength-on-strength matchups that these teams bring to the table tonight. This is a game I've been looking forward to, and it is a fair fight. This is going to be a fun one.
Luke Whelan kicks it off. At the 20, Cole Wright with the return, and he's out to the 26. Papa John's brings you starting lineups. Okay, now we can start talking about Talon Green, because he's been the quarterback that replaced the departed Hank Bachmeier.
Yeah, when we were talking to Falcon head coach Troy Calhoun, he made a comparison to Vince Young, the great Texas quarterback. But when you look at him on the hoof, Talon Green, he looks the part, 6'6", 220. He's a freakish athlete with a really strong arm. Ball security here on the road is going to be of the utmost importance for number 10.
And we told you George Holani is banged up. He is expected to play, but he's not out there right now. Ashton Jeanty gets the first run of what will be many from both teams. And Jeanty, who is a speedster, played his high school ball in Texas. He gets about 3 yards.
Interesting that they're starting Jeanty. Holani is dressed, Rich. I was watching him in warm-ups, and he was really ginger, and that's typical of a player that's a game-time decision. At some point, you have to burst and explode and try out what you have, but clearly the coach is making a decision to start Jeanty and maybe bring Holani back into the game as needed.
Second down and a long 6. This is Green, and when he gets outside, he's trouble. To the 40. Green races to midfield. Green to the 40. Flag is down. Green is out of bounds at the Air Force 30, and the flag is in the backfield, sitting at the 36-yard line.
Rich, that's the athleticism that has this defensive staffs up late at night.
That's a 40-yard scamper by Green, but it looks like it's all coming back.
Incredible straight long speed.
Personal foul, illegal low block, offense, number 70. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Main second down.
Yeah, that's one of the rules of emphasis in the changes this year is illegal chop blocks going low. You see right there in the middle of the pack, John Ojukwu, the left tackle. Boise's a team that isn't too terribly penalized, but that one is a costly one because it negates an incredible run that puts a lot of pressure on this defense.
And not necessarily out of the tackle box, but out at across the line of scrimmage at the level of the linebackers. That's illegal. Little inside screen. This is Latrell Caples, and Caples going to get back to the 26-yard line. All right, it's a completely different offense under Dirk Cutter. This is a run first, especially with the offensive line doing that work.
Yeah, and Garrett Curran, the left guard, number 69 there, he's got some finish to him. The Boise fan base was not happy with the offensive line early on in the season, Rich, and for good reason. They were a weakness of this team. In 2 short weeks, they have become the strength, and they're going to need to be at best here tonight on the road against a pretty stingy defense.
Tyler Crow is in the backfield, so no Holani yet. Genty for a couple plays, and now Crow on a 3rd down and 10. Green sets, runs out of time, flips it, and it's incomplete. That was Crow in the pattern, and the Air Force defense holds, and Boise State will have to punt the football.
Great job of getting themselves off the field on 3rd down. Got to keep your eye on the middle linebacker, number 35. It's coming back into the box right there. He's spying Taylon Green. He's the one that's not going to let Taylon Green be able to spy and get outside. Jonathan Youngblood, starting for the hurt Alec Mock, does his job there, and the pursuit from the backside forces the errant throw.
Boise State to punt. James Ferguson Reynolds, one of the many Australian punters in the game, and they're very good at this. A little run and an end-over-end kick. And it's going to land at the 34 and then roll inside the 30. Papa John's brings you Zeke Daniels in the offense for Air Force. He had a big game last year at Boise on the ground.
He certainly did, and he's not one to run the football very much in this offense. A lot of the option to me looks like it's predetermined. They like Brad Roberts in the first read up the middle, but they like to get the football on the edge to John Lee Eldridge. So ball security, which has been a problem at times for Air Force this year, is going to be critical.
As you heard Sherry talk about, the bye week really helped defensive coordinator Spencer Danielson get ready for this Air Force triple option. And of course, we know a lot of their run game has pro concepts included with the triple option. Roberts, John Lee Eldridge in there both. And Air Force starts their offensive day late afternoon, if you will, on the 30-yard line. Daniels with a pitch. Oh, big play. That's Tyreek Jones blowing up the pitch. And that's a loss of 5.
An incredible job of Tyreek Jones being firm out there on the edge as the force player. He darts upfield. And Adam Karras, the right tackle, just can't get there, and he gets his arms around the talented Eldridge and brings him down for a tackle for loss, which is a rarity against this offense.
And Air Force first down is so important in their offensive equation, because they're really good at getting 3 or 4 yards at a clip. This is 2nd down and 15.
They're going to play that aggressive. Air Force needs to think about taking some shots downfield.
Daniels, late pitch. Eldridge lost it. Gets it back. And guess who was on the pitch man again? Tyreek Jones.
What they're doing, Boise State is trying to force Zeke Daniels to make a decision. Right there, he should run it, but he doesn't. He decides to pitch. That's almost like a predetermined pitch. That is not a true triple option run, and that's one of the things that defensive coordinator Spencer Danielson wanted to do, is to force Zeke Daniel to be a part of the run game, and right now the Falcons are going backwards.
3rd down and 15. Daniels airs it out. fires it wide of his intended target, Caleb Rilos, the tight end. And so, well, we talked about both offenses in the open, and they go 3 and out both. Both defenses look sharp from the get-go.
And that's huge for Boise State. They wanted to start fast. They know they need to start fast because of how good the Falcons are on their first drive and to start the game. To simulate the speed of the option is really hard, but the Broncos adjusted beautifully there.
Air Force scored on their first 3 drives last year in Boise. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. And the punt's going to land at the 37-yard line. Carson Bay with that punt. Defenses are out in force early on with Boise State and Air Force on a beautiful night on the Front Range. Scoreless start here at Air Force. Keys to the game are brought to you by Weather Guard.
Yeah, the quickest way to get yourself beat on the road is to turn the ball over, so the Broncos have to be careful there. And then stopping the dive, especially on 3rd and 4th down. It's a classic strength versus strength matchup today for their defense. So far, so good. And for Air Force offensively, scored touchdowns in the red zone. Calhoun said he wanted this to be a 14-13 type of game, so the Falcons need to take advantage of every opportunity they get. And the last one there, Rich, limit the explosive plays. This offense for the Broncos has come alive, and we saw early it got called back, but that's the potential they have to strike and strike quickly. The Falcons have to get things sorted out to not let that happen.
That was a 40-yard run by Taylon Green, but a block below the waist brought it back. This is Genty left side. He stopped at the 42, and let's go down to Sherry Burris. Sherry?
Well, guys, I'm watching George Halani down here. He's yet to put his helmet on. Pre-game coach told me he had a soft tissue injury that happened last game. This week he made really good progress, but because it's mid-season, they want to manage his workload, but we will see him try to give it a go today. The question, though, is how many reps will he get?
Well, it's a big loss if he doesn't go, Sherry. I mean, he went for 157 against Fresno, 131 against San Diego State, and this is Genty, who himself is coming off a big game, 109 yards against Fresno, and he's got a first down into Air Force territory. That's 15 yards.
This is just an offensive line covering up a hat on a hat, and Genty doesn't waste any motion. Nice job switching the ball there. He's a power runner. I think the Falcons are going to have some safety help. If they have a light box against 11 personnel and only have 2 linebackers on the field, they're going to keep getting gashed like that.
Genty again inside the 40. Jonathan Youngblood makes the stop. Youngblood and T.D. Blackman are going to be the guys that are most active in the linebacker. The second level is really good on this Air Force team.
They certainly are, and it's going to be Jonathan Youngblood, number 35, and T.D. Blackman, number 27, that the coaching staff told us are going to spy Taylon Green to make sure that his legs can't hurt the offense. They give him the best shot to do that, but it's no simple task. That guy can go.
They may want to start spying Ashton Genty because he's had a couple of nice runs on this drive. 2nd down and 3 after a 7-yard carry. This is El Elyon Noah, whose older brother Ezekiel is a star linebacker for Boise State. He's the transfer, El Elyon, from Utah State. That's a first down.
Yeah, it's a great job, and because El Elyon is playing, it's probably as great of an indicator that Halani's not going to go, but you take a look at the play selection. The Broncos, since making the switch 2 weeks ago, are all about that run life.
Noah's still in there. Ball sits at the 32. Second possession for Boise State. Green to throw. They like to get him to roll out. Accurate there. Noah the catch. Banged out of bounds inside the 25.
You mentioned it, Rich. Dirk Cutter told us they'd like to roll him out. He's best when he's on the move, and a lot of times that takes the thinking out of a quarterback. He just reacts and is out there playing football. Multiple times they will boot him, they will sprint him out, they will waggle him. They want to change his release point because he's more comfortable throwing the football in those situations.
Of course, Cutter as a head coach is a guy that started this whole run that Boise State has enjoyed. Noah again straight ahead. He's right on the stick, and he's got the first down with a 2-yard carry.
Yeah, you mentioned Dirk Cutter starting this whole thing. He told us that he recruited Coach Avalos to Boise way back in the day, and there's a fond relationship between those two. He left after his first year, but what an incredible opportunity he has to elevate from being an analyst, coming back, having a lot of appreciation for Avalos' coaching style and the way he changes and talks to the kids, that he wanted to come back, and now he's in charge of this offense.
From Cutter to Hawkins to Peterson to Harsin to Avalos. Genty back in, and Genty bangs. He's got a little push behind him too. 5'8", 205. He's fast, but he's also tough. Youngblood and Goodwin make the stop.
Really nice job of Jonathan Youngblood firing and playing downhill, and you take a look at what he's got to try to stop. It's Ashton Genty, and you look at the yards per attempt against Fresno State, against San Diego State, and he's starting off here pretty dang good tonight at 7.6 yards per carry.
Second down, 3. Genty again doesn't have the first down. He'll pick up 2, and that's where Youngblood hits him again. Youngblood coming off a terrific game at UNLV, and a decision here on 3rd down and 1. They've certainly had success going straight ahead.
And what they're going to do here in short yardage, they've got something called the Clydesdale package. Rich, it's when they get Scott Matlock, Jackson Cravens, and Herbert Gums, all defensive linemen, on the line of scrimmage to give them some more beef up front. And they go to Wildcat here with Gentry under center.
Takes the snap, straight ahead, he's hit, and I don't think he has it. T.D. Blackman there first. He is short of the first down, it looks like, which should bring up 4th down and a yard.
The life of a linebacker is not easy. The eyes have to lead the feet. Keep your eye on T.D. Blackman, the way that he hits this straight downhill. Boom! That's a gap exchange. The defensive linemen slant one way, and they exchange gaps with Blackman, and that movement up front is all they needed, but it's a 4th down territory. They like this package. They've got a size advantage. Can the Falcons hold up?
Well, right now they look a little confused in lining things up. Green, Noah, I think he squirts through and has it. He had to get to the 11. And it looks like he's just inside the 11.
And I like that play call.
First down.
You get some positive yards on 3rd down. Credit Air Force for being able to stop it, but they're giving up 50, 60 pounds per player up there. And we talked about the power that these backs for Boise State have. And when you're on the road, you make those sort of decisions where you're aggressive here in the red zone. Possessions are limited when you're playing Air Force, so you got to make the most of it, which is why the Broncos elected to go there.
You can see just under the touchdown percentage nationally. Noah again, and he's going to chew up more yardage there. 6 more yards down to the 6-yard line, and a 2nd down and 4. And Dirk Cutter, he was really simple with this. He said, you know what? We've had success the last 2 games running the football, so why stop?
If it ain't broke, don't change it. We have an injured player down. Jaden Thiergood, slow to get up, holding that right hip of his.
And so that injury is going to stop the game and will step aside. 2nd and 5. Boise State on the move.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by The Exchange, welcoming home veterans to their exchange shopping benefits. By USAA Insurance, auto renters and home insurance. And by Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration.
Back at the Air Force Academy, Boise State in the middle of an Air Force type drive.
11 plays, 57 yards and counting as we take a look at Jaden Thiergood walking off under his own power, which is great. He forced a turnover in the red zone on a quarterback keeper last week, so he's the type of playmaker that the Falcons would want on the field in this situation.
Ashton Genty and Elion Noah have carried the ball as a play action. This is Green. He's chased. Little flip caught there. Ty Neal Hopper with the catch. He's in. Touchdown, Boise State. Run, 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 and then finally play action.
It's a great play call with as aggressive as Boise's been. But you take a look at Hopper, who's 6'2", 250 pounds. He's a big load of laundry right in front of the official, and that's incredible. Air Force is 4th in the country.
That right foot of Hopper, before he lunged for the end zone, looked like it was out, and that's why they've stopped it. Watch again, that right foot. Where's the ball?
Rock it back a little bit. I think you're right, Rich.
Yep.
He's short. Good eyes, partner.
Well, one tell is when the scoring team lines up rapidly to kick the extra point. They don't want the replay officials to get all the looks in. But the replay officials have been doing it long enough to know that if they smell smoke, they'll stop it and take a look at it. It looks like this ball is going to be a 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very short. And what I started to say is Air Force is 4th in the country, only allowing an average of 7.6 per game in the first half this season. So should the Broncos score here, that would essentially match what the Falcons essentially give up. And the way that they've methodically marched down the field, that should make Bronco fans pretty happy. And this is the production we've seen over the last couple of weeks.
And the other thing, in turning the tables on Air Force, they have eaten up over 6 minutes on this touchdown drive, or at this point, touchdown drive.
After further review, replay determined the runner stepped out of bounds prior to crossing the goal line. Ball replaced at the half-yard line. 1st down, Boise State.
That's Christian Watson, who's our referee tonight. So instead of a touchdown, it's 1st and goal from inside the 1.
And clearly, Christian has never skipped arm day. Had a chance to rap with him down on the field, and those guys are a great testament to the game and work really hard. And that's a really good job of a clear example of the replay booth cleaning up what sometimes is difficult to see on the field. And another opportunity for the Falcons to try to pull a rabbit out of their hat and get a stop here.
Genty in the backfield, behind Gums, into the end zone, touchdown. The Clydesdale package punches it in.
Rich, it's almost not even fair with Jackson Cravens in there. You're going to see down, around. It's just a simple kick-out block. It's a lead play, but when you have defensive linemen that are that big, it's almost not even fair. Very rarely have I seen anybody stop it, and when you have Herbert Gums coming down the pipe at you at 6'1", 305 pounds, you got to make a business decision.
Flag before the kick.
It's a rare penalty for the Falcons, who are the best in the country.
They had one last week.
Offside, defense, number 7. The ball be placed at the 1.5-yard line for the try.
That was in the wipeout at UNLV. UNLV actually didn't have a penalty, but they also didn't have a chance in that game because Air Force took 4 turnovers, turned them into 4 touchdowns, and it was a wipeout. Boise State has scored first here in a big game in the Mountain West. Extra point, up and good. Ashton Genty, feature back on an impressive drive, 7-0 Broncos.
Welcome back to Falcon Stadium in today's installment of Air Force Greatest Legends, brought to you by The Exchange. We take a look at Weston Steelhammer, a former Air Force defensive back. Steelhammer is now an analyst at J.P. Morgan in the Dallas area, but he holds the school record with 18 career interceptions, and 3 of those coming in the 2014 game against Boise State. I chatted with Weston, and he said games against Boise State was always one of the most important alongside the commander-in-chief and bowl games. In 2014, those 3 interceptions, he told me, felt like a coming out party being an underclassman and having success overall, and really described it, guys, as beating their bigger, older brother in football. Weston said he's out there watching the game today, cheering on his guys.
All right, thanks, Sherry. And yesterday, Troy Calhoun, when talking about Steelhammer, told us he is, without a doubt, one of the greatest defensive players that ever played at the academy. In Castonway with the return, and he's out close to the 25-yard line. Starting fast, Air Force is known for it, but not tonight.
You take a look at those numbers. Their first drive was 3 and out. And in fact, Air Force has -7 yards. They marched the wrong way. Not too many defenses have ever done that, let alone this season. A great start for the Broncos and an opportunity for Air Force to get to their base offense and get things going.
Daniels, the quarterback, ran for 83 yards against Boise last year. And Air Force told us they expect them to encourage him to run. This is Roberts. His first touch, and Roberts is going to get maybe a yard. Rodney Robinson and Kaniho strung him out. Here's the offensive lineup. Really good offensive line. You like these guys a lot.
I really do, especially their right guard, Isaac Cochran. He's the leader of this offensive line. And by the time he leaves, he's got a chance to be one of the best Falcon O-linemen up front. They were named this week to the Joe Moore Award midseason honor roll, but they've got their hands full right now. Look at this formation. A lot of tight ends there for Air Force.
Roberts, who is coming off of some huge games, it seems like he always is tackled by Ezekiel Noah. Very quietly, this defense has just been super, even in the darkest of hours in the early season. And
their leader up front is Scott Matlock, the redshirt senior. An incredible player. He's a guy that's had some touchdown catches. I heard that word on the street is he was a little upset with me because I said it was a fat guy touchdown. He didn't like being referred to as fat, so I'm sorry, Scott, if I offended you.
He's already been on offense. He was in on that touchdown carry. Another pitch, another fumble, and Boise State says they have it. Rodney Robinson on the football, and a disastrous start for the Air Force offense.
The fumble. Covered by the defense. First down, Boise State.
Rich, that's only their 8th takeaway. Got to keep an eye on the ball to make sure that it stays in bounds when he has possession. His knee was down when it looked like he had possession. But another errant pitch by Zeke Daniels and potentially a costly turnover.
And it looks like it was Kaniho who got the fumble. And again, it looks like Tyreek Jones made the big hit. Jones has been everywhere.
Down to further review.
Question is, was Kaniho's foot out of bounds when he rolled over and took possession of the football?
It looks like his knee was down when he maintains full possession to me. The angle from the other side shows it a little bit better. There you can see where he's got possession. You can see his backside is on the ground. His feet do eventually go out of bounds, but not before his right knee touches the ground. He's got possession. There, roll it. And his right knee hits there before his foot touches there.
Yeah, that looks pretty clean. It took the ball a little bit to settle on his stomach, but I think you're on it. Tyreek Jones has made 3 terrific plays on option pitches in this game already.
What Boise State is doing is attacking the perimeter and forcing Zeke Daniels to delay the pitch, which allows the defense to come, and it's not a smooth operation, and it's almost a panic pitch by what he's doing.
After further review, the call stands. First down, Boise State.
Boise State forces the turnover with a 7-0 lead early here. And the fumbles this year have been devastating to Air Force and a big difference from last year.
And this is an offense that prides itself on ball security. Certainly one of the things we thought would be important for the Broncos, but proven to be a challenge here early for the Falcons.
You've just joined us. Starting running back George Holani has not played yet. It was a game-time decision, and it seems like that decision is he will not play. Christopher Herrera with a good hit on Ashton Genty, and he'll pick up a yard, 2nd down and 9. Armed Forces football proudly supported by the Exchange. Little tempo here from Boise State. Green play action. Fires it short. Hopper, who had the near touchdown, makes the catch, but not much of a gain. Maybe a yard. T.D. Blackman in on that hit.
And Rich, you take a look at what they've done so far after the slow start, basically a 3rd and out or 3 and out after the penalty for the illegal chop block. They had a 13-play, 63-yard drive, and Air Force turns the ball over in the plus side of the territory, and now they're in the high red zone, already in field goal range. Can't take a loss here on 3rd down.
Jonah Damas, one of the better kickers in the West for Boise State. He's got 50-yard range. They're certainly well within that. Blitz comes off his back foot. Green's throw is incomplete. Latrell Caples, the intended receiver. No flags. And I think we're going to see Mr. Dalmas here for a field goal attempt.
Good job of bringing the blitz 2 from the weak side against Green, forcing him to throw the football early. He's uncomfortable. Watch his feet. He's throwing off his back foot. It's extremely hard to control the location of the football when your feet aren't set.
Dalmas is 10 of 12 this year, and he's made 9 straight. This is a chip shot for this guy. Dalmas, the Meridian, Idaho native, knocks it through. John Lee Eldridge coughs it up. Boise State cashes in with 3 more. Tomorrow, Week 7, NFL on CBS. Lions head to Dallas, take on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. Browns and Ravens. Or how about the Jets going a mile high to take on the Broncos? All hail tomorrow. The NFL is on CBS. And this just in, look who's starting for the Broncos tomorrow. A former Bronco, Brett Rippon, makes his 2nd career start, his 1st career start against the Jets. Beat him, 2nd career start against the Jets on CBS.
The lineage of quarterbacks that have come through Boise State is extraordinary. He's just one of many that have had success on the next level. And how about Kellen Moore, the great, and the success he's having in Dallas as their offensive coordinator.
Our research department quickly in gear getting that for us. Michael Pittman, Ben Stauber with the great catch on the Jets and Rippon. All right, defense and Air Force's offense. Man, it's been a struggle so far.
They're stringing out the decision. Zeke Daniels is going to have to carry the football. These are predetermined pitches, not real reads, because if they were, he would have to come up inside. What Boise State is doing is they're flattening out the defense, and Air Force just simply doesn't have an answer to be able to find ways to move the football. Advantage so far the Broncos, but Mike Thiessen, the offensive coordinator, is great at adjustments.
Only 2 carries by Brad Roberts. He's not in right now. Omar Fatah is. Daniels does indeed carry it, and he is met and hammered, and nothing is going right now. George Tarlis in the middle of that.
George Tarlis is really somebody that is starting to play well for him. The transfer from Weber State had a great game a week ago, but really active across the face there. And we saw Zeke Daniels carry the ball. I think that's the adjustment that Air Force needs to figure out.
360 yards per game. That's what Air Force averages on the ground. That is best in the country. Daniels ran for 83 against Boise State last year.
They're at -2 right now.
Now they're going to get maybe 1 back. That's Scott Matlock, who we've seen on the other side of the ball in the Clydesdale package. DJ Schramm there as well.
Scott Matlock, 6'4", 310 pounds, comes across the lines of scrimmage, and they're just whipping them across their faces. Boom, he squeezes right there and then comes back off. That's perfect defensive line play. You have to cancel gaps, squeeze blocks, defeat, and make the tackle, and he does all that right there on 1 play.
And this is, if you're the Boise State defense, you want Air Force in 3rd down and 7. Daniels is flushed. Flag is down. 2 flags are down. Daniels to the sideline escapes. And we'll see what the laundry is about. It's back in the backfield and at the line of scrimmage.
Holding. Offense, number 69. That penalty decline. Result of the play. 4th down.
It's Wesley and Dago, their big, powerful left guard. Keep an eye right here. Good job setting across, but he loses his footing, and one of the classic moves is to bring the guy down with you. But he got caught. Boise wisely declines this and forces another punt by Air Force.
And I don't think I've seen Air Force's offense in this much disarray all year. Caples watches that punt bounce out of bounds. Boise State will get the football. 1:02 left in this first quarter. Monday night, 6 Eastern, in-depth analysis, clutch plays, key drives, and a breakdown of all the Week 7 action. Don't miss NFL Monday Quarterback right here on CBS Sports Network. Aaron Taylor has never been, have you been invited to appear on Monday morning or Monday Quarterback?
I've made a couple cameos there a couple years ago during the COVID years.
Despite not being a quarterback.
Yeah, it was a little controversial because of my size and weight and love handles, but the boys welcomed me with open arms, and it was pretty fun.
Ashton Jeanty has been the feature back in this one so far for Boise State. No George Holani. And Jeanty here. And he runs right into Jonathan Youngblood and T.D. Blackman. That's a gain of 2. I mean, it's not a huge drop-off from Holani to Jeanty, who all the coaches agree is the 2nd best offensive player that Boise State has.
He's incredible. And just watching players literally bounce off of him when he totes the rock is fun as we were leading up to this game. He's a good back.
2nd down, 8. Green to throw. Blitz is on. Fires it out. Wide open is Jeanty. And he can run. Jeanty to the 40. To the 30. Knocked out of bounds inside the 25. Big play. Jalen Goodwin chased him down. Boise State right back in Air Force territory, 42 yards.
Dirk Cutter with the great play call right into the blitz. Camby Goff comes down from the safety position, and it's back up there, and there's nobody out there. And you see Holani's watching it, and he absolutely loved it, cheering his guys on. But another breakdown in the secondary and a big play for Boise.
Green again. This time finds Caples to the 10, and Caples steps out of bounds all the way back at the 12-yard line. Boy, the Broncos are rolling right now. They've won 2 in a row. They've come in here, they've stuffed Air Force's offense, put 10 on the board, and they're knocking on the door as we head to the seconds. (10-0) Boise State. A rapid start here. I don't know anybody saw this coming. Look at the numbers, the landslide on Boise's side.
I can't believe what I'm watching. This is the nation's best rushing offense that has -1 yards through 3 quarters. Rich, we showed that they scored 9.6 points on their first 2 drives. This is one of the fastest starting offenses in America. It's been held completely in check, and the Broncos are basically unstoppable.
Noah straight ahead. Man, as he gets rolling, he gets momentum in a hurry. He's 5'8", 200 pounds. Elion Noah to the 5, and that's a gain of 7.
And what a great story about him coming to Boise, wanting to play with his brother Ezekiel, who's a linebacker on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and now he's got an opportunity here in the red zone and all season long to contribute to what's been an offense that's been completely overhauled.
The previous play, another further review.
We want to see if forward progress was stopped when a body part of Noah's, maybe his elbow, was down. He runs hard, and you mentioned it, Rich. He's on top of a player there. It's hard to see from that angle. You can see where they were trying to see if the elbow was down. It's hard to tell. Maybe here more from the front, we get a chance to see it.
Ooh.
So close. So close.
Forearm doesn't count, but elbow does.
Any part of the body that's not the bottom of the foot or the bottom of the hand would have him ruled down. So what they're looking at is whether or not that elbow touched the ground, and honestly, I don't think it did, and certainly doesn't show enough to overturn and respot this football.
Quick review.
After further review, replay determined the runner was down at the 8-yard line, second down.
All right, they saw it differently. But that was a good catch by them. The replay booth has been on top of these calls. But you love the second effort, and that's really the thing, Rich, that stood out to me about all of these backs is how physical they were. This just simply wasn't the case in the first 4 games of the season.
Genty in the backfield, second down and 6 here.
Here the offensive line making calls now, trying to pick this blitz up.
Genty right side, here comes the blitz, and down he goes. First man through, T.D. Blackman, and then a host of others. And any semblance of momentum Air Force is scrapping for right now, maybe a stop here.
And they're still playing hard. This is just a bust. They have too many players up there. Nobody picks up Blackman. And that aggressive run blitz makes this a 3rd and long situation here in the red zone. They like to bring some blitzes, and we're going to see if maybe they get Taylon Green outside the pocket to use his legs.
And they feel Green a better passer when he's outside the pocket. In the pocket here. Flag down. Green's throw in traffic is incomplete. Now, a decision to make if it is a hold. Do you decline it if you're Air Force?
Holding. Offense, number 71. That penalty decline. Pass is incomplete. 4th down.
Yes, you do, Rich, for this obvious reason. It's 4th and 10, and there's no way that they would go for that here, but that does bring the field goal unit on, and that's a good stop for Air Force's defense, whose offense put them in a bad situation, but that's trying to find a silver lining in a game so far that has been anything but.
I'm not too proud to take a layup every now and then. It's Dalmas.
Get that free money, baby.
Yeah. So he's now hit 10 in a row. And this from in close knocks that one through. So the Air Force defense, somewhat of a hold. They force Boise State to kick the field goal. It's a 13-0 start for the Broncos.
Welcome back, Air Force up 13-0, and I'm joined by Mountain West Commissioner Craig Thompson. We have seen some incredible play in conference games. What have you made of what we've seen so far?
Well, it's a very balanced league. It's phenomenal. I think we've had about half our membership play in our conference championship game since we started it, and it's a very balanced, competitive league, as you say.
You sit on the College Football Playoff Board of Managers and an advocate of expanding the playoffs for years. There's a meeting on Thursday. How do you think expanding the playoff format betters college football?
Well, just much more opportunity for more institutions. Right now, we're at 4, and if we can get to 12, that's 8 more institutions that have a chance to play for a national championship.
What are some of the biggest hurdles, but also the benefits of sticking with 2024 to have that expansion?
I think it's the compression of the schedule. December's really tight. This year there's 5 Saturdays, but generally there's 4. First weekend is conference play. The second weekend we're going to give the players a week off, and we have to play that third week, which is probably going to be head-to-head with the NFL, and then it's New Year's Eve. So it's a very tight window in December.
We're looking forward to when a decision is made, but for you, after 24 years, you are retiring. What are you proudest of your tenure as Mountain West Commissioner?
Well, I think keeping the membership together. We've had a lot of people come and go in the Mountain West Conference, but again, the competition we put on the field, and it's all because of our student athletes.
Well, congratulations on your retirement. Thanks for the time, Greg.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, thank you, Sherry. Flags here.
He's going to be on the left guard, Wesley Ndego again.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
All right, you take a look at the Air Force fast start that we previewed and promised somewhat, and it just hasn't happened. 2 3-and-outs, the fumble, the defense holding to 2 field goals. Boise State has, instead of a 21-0 lead, it's made it 13-0.
Air Force is still in this game, especially if they can get some points here on this drive, but it's another fumble.
That's DeAndre Hughes. Air Force is known for years, whether it's Fisher DeBerry or Troy Calhoun, as a team that just doesn't fumble.
And this is...
excuse me. It was Larrier coming around.
Air Force just doesn't look sharp tonight. They're having penalties. They're putting the football on the ground. That's their base play. A toss pitch to the outside, and nothing is going right for the Falcons, regardless of who's in there. They took Ndego out. Aiden McCullough's been brought in at the left guard, and then he jumps off sides. The Falcons are a mess right now.
And we really haven't seen a whole lot of Brad Roberts, have we? Michelle is in the backfield right now. He's the backup fullback. We've seen Fatah, and this is Michelle, and he is to the 18, but this is 3rd down and long, and Air Force and their offensive coordinator Mike Thiessen, they don't have a whole lot of options in the playbook for 3rd down and 17.
I don't care who you are or what style of offense you run. If you can't simply execute a pitch between the quarterback and a running back, you've got operational problems. If you can't stay on sides, you're not going to be successful. Air Force is the best rushing offense in the country, but Boise is having their way with them up front so far.
Daniels to throw. Pressure comes. Down he goes. Boise State gets him. A variety in there. Dimitri Washington finished him, but he was chased around pretty good before the sack.
Great coverage on the back end. That defensive line stayed hunting. Zeke Daniels has nowhere to throw the football. He's trying to keep his eyes down the field, but he feels the rush, and then everything just closes in on him. This is a secondary that is doing a great job, great eye discipline. There's zero threat from the run, so they're playing the pass in obvious pass situations, taking away one of the greatest advantages that this style of offense presents.
Carson Bay with a line drive punt, and it's going to roll. Capel's watching it inside the 40, down to the 36. Boise State's defense suffocating, and the offense has put 13 on the board in Colorado Springs in the Mountain West. 13-0 Boise State in the second quarter on the road on top of Air Force. 49 days to go. The countdown to the Army-Navy game presented by USAA. Saturday, December 10th on CBS Sports. A little flashback. You and I got to watch this one. Week 5, Air Force Navy. Zeke Daniels, David Cormier, 67 yards. That opened the scoring. Navy wouldn't go away, and they tied the game early in the fourth quarter. Air Force, though, on a late drive, and a Matthew DePore field goal would win it. And for Air Force, that is the first leg of the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. In 2 weeks, they'll play Army on CBS down in Dallas. Taylon Green to the air. Taylon Green going deep. Eric McAllister fighting for it and has the catch at the 20.
Great play call here by Dirk Cutter. He recognizes the one-on-one coverage, and the route and the speed of Eric McAllister are too much, and Taylon Green, showing you that arm strength, puts the ball on the money against Michael Mack. This is a pass defense that's really good, ranks top 10 in the country, but struggled there in one-on-one situations.
Green, little flip, and Genty couldn't hold it. Second down and 10. This is the point of the field now where Air Force's defense has held Boise State to field goals their last 2 arrivals inside the red zone.
Yeah, as well as they've run the ball, the red zone has been a challenge for them. You go back a couple weeks ago to their game, and they had 8 opportunities in the red zone. They scored 4 touchdowns, but there were 4 times that they were forced to kick field goals, and that's just simply not good enough as you head into the meat of conference play.
Greenback setting up a screen, fires it out of bounds, and you saw Brian Knorr, the first-year defensive coordinator for Air Force. They're looking for any bit of momentum they can grab. And the officials right now kind of marking this off to see if maybe it is grounding. Yep.
It was ruled the quarterback was in the pocket. Number 36 was not in the air of the pass. Therefore, intentional grounding. Offense, number 10. The penalty for that foul and lost it down at that spot. Third down.
That's a huge penalty, of course. You take a look at Taylon Green there, clearly in the tackle box. If he's outside the box, meaning basically under duress, he has the opportunity to do that as long as the pass goes past the line of scrimmage. And that's just a mistake by a young player that hasn't done this too much. But Rich, he just doesn't seem comfortable to me in the pocket when he's throwing the football yet.
It's a work in progress. Dirk Cutter was pretty honest with us about that. There's some things that he has taken to and done well. He said every snap he takes, every rep in practice is a step forward. Third down and 26. And a timeout for Boise State. We'll take a 30-second timeout. This was an incredibly beautiful day here in Colorado Springs. Temperatures low 80s in third week of October. A little bit of a breeze. And this stadium, especially as you get further into fall, wind plays a factor. And that breeze would be at the back of Jonah Dalmas, whose career long is 51. So that would play in his favor if they didn't move the football from this spot.
Which is also why he can't afford to take a sack or lose any yardage here.
Right at the target line for Dalmas. Third and 24. Air Force shows blitz. Here they come. Green stands in, flips it out. That's Riley Smith, the tight end, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Peyton Zadroik makes the stop. That's a gain of maybe half a yard. And so here comes Dalmas, and this may be for a career high of either, maybe, let's see where they set this football. Just inside the 42, so technically it would be a 51-yard attempt.
It's going to be at the 34-yard line here.
Oh, I was talking about the holder.
Oh.
In that case, yes. Dalmas now loads up, and he hits it, and it's good. His second career 51-yarder. The guy that loves Justin Tucker, the kicker of the Ravens, watches his videos. When you go deep, he said, you got to keep the same rhythm and the same swing. And boy, did he ever. Another field goal. Boise State's lead grows. It's now 16-0.
Boise State now up 16-0, but an injury update for you for Air Force. Tight end Kyle Patterson is out. He is now in street clothes. He left halfway through the first quarter. So the offense trying to get something going. I saw Hazik Daniels called the whole offense over. Tell them, guys, come on. What are we doing? Remind them of their goals this season. I heard him say, we're stopping ourselves. We're better than this. Told the guys to get in even closer before breaking the huddle. Rich?
I'll tell you what, Sherry, the numbers here are staggering, and give credit to Boise State's defense. Air Force has run just 12 plays in this game.
And Rich, 5 of those have yielded positive yardage, meaning 7 of them like this have it. It's 4 straight 3-and-outs. One of those ended with a fumble that led to points, and the Falcons are just simply in disarray. This is the most dominant performance I've seen by a defense so far this season and maybe ever against the Falcons offense.
They don't have a first down. You can see they don't have positive yardage on those 12 plays. Brad Roberts back in. He has just 2 carries. Roberts gets it here, and straight ahead he goes. And if they can get him rolling, then things may start to fall in place.
And it's not a bad decision to do that, because Brad Roberts is a player that's never been tackled for a loss, certainly this season. He's a power forward generating dude that gets on the defense quickly, and that's how he gets all these hidden yards. He was hit about 3 yards into that run and carried it for another 4 after contact.
Had 144 yards and 4 touchdowns last week at UNLV. 2nd and 3, Roberts again. And Roberts, you can hear the crowd here. They've been waiting for something to get excited about. That's the first down of the night.
Rich, take a look at what Roberts does. This is in the game last week against UNLV. They run a gap exchange, which works. He gets hit at the line of scrimmage. It should be a tackle for loss, but he gets hit again 2 yards down the field and another time at 5. You add to that the fact that you have a big pancake getting down with the left guard. Let's give him what he deserves right there. And that's the way that this offense hums, and that's why getting Brad Roberts involved puts the offensive line at its strength. And they've gotten positive yards in their first down of the game doing that, as we take a look at J.L. Skinner, the heat-seeking missile at the safety position, who's been an incredible player for Boise for many years.
Yes, he is. He's second leading tackler on this team. He's got NFL size, NFL skills. And here's a look, same look as that UNLV video. Roberts, the offensive line really hasn't had a chance to just push forward. A lot of the runs have been on the perimeter, and there's been 3 fumbles on the perimeter so far.
But that's the diesel right there. And J.L. Skinner's a safety, but he was playing in the box there at the line of scrimmage. He's a big load of laundry, super long, got great length. There's scouts here from the Niners and from the Atlanta Falcons. Talking to him before the game, I said, that dude's pretty long, and they both kind of just raised their eyebrows like, wow.
Well, Roberts again, he carried it 11 straight times to open the second half last week. 11 straight times.
It's incredible. And what they're doing now, as we saw Oladipo make that tackle at the line of scrimmage. Boise is basically crowding the line of scrimmage and bringing all hands on deck to try to stop that inside run game.
Well, we'll see if that opens up something on the perimeter, especially with some speed. Air Force right now on a 2nd and 9. Daniels, Matlock's in his face, avoids him, sets, throws, deep, open, caught, Larrier. And a big play finally for Air Force. Larrier with the catch. Matlock almost had Daniels in the backfield.
And that's what this offense can do. You have to have eye discipline. They just run Larrier out on a wheel route. Nobody picks him up. The safety's late to get over there, and it's the biggest gain of the game for this Falcon offense, and that's J.L. Skinner that finally gets over there. We saw that he left the game a couple plays before, but he and Biggers and the rest of that secondary got caught looking there.
37 yards, Daniels to Larrier. Roberts behind Daniels. And he goes over the right side. DJ Schramm, who was a special team star for Boise State, finally got himself into the linebacker starting rotation. And ever since then, he's been their leading tackler.
He's earned it the hard way. One of the long line of tough downhill box linebackers for this defense. His father, Dave, is a longtime offensive coordinator here in the Mountain West, most recently at Fresno State, I believe. And all I got to say is thank God DJ takes after his mama's athleticism.
That's a shot. Roberts slips inside that tackle in the red zone to the 15. This could be a 3rd down and 3 for Air Force.
Brad Roberts so far this year coming into this game had 33 red zone touches, among the most in college football. You take a look at that, tied for 5th. The red zone, Rich, isn't about plays, it's about players. And right now, Brad Roberts is the hot hand. They have to find a way to feed him. And the big guys up front got to give him some room.
Hughes in motion. Daniels right side. Has the 1st down inside the 10. Daniels in the end zone. Touchdown, Air Force.
Just an incredible job and play call by Mike Thiessen. It's a quarterback counter. They haven't shown much of this in the last couple of weeks, and certainly not in this game. Mike Thiessen, one of the best play callers and guys at making adjustments, dials up just what the Falcons needed, Rich. And because of their defense stopping teams in the red zone, this puts them right back in this ball game.
They had 12 plays, -4 yards. 7 plays there, over 70 yards on that drive, and the extra point is up and good. And 16-7 now. And it was all set up, remember. Daniels avoided Matlock, then found Larrier. And then Mike Thiessen getting creative. Air Force on the board. And it feels like back in this game. A much better feeling there from the Cadets, and not just the free pizza, but finally a touchdown.
You're going to see the motion over here, and that's going to bring the eyes of the linebackers there, and then all they do is bring the backside guard and tackle and run a counter play. But the key piece here is that Hazik Daniels keeps the ball. They block it up well. Great job getting a pancake there on the other side by Everett Smalley. And Daniels, who gave that great speech, according to Sherry's report, seemed to really have worked because Air Force looked great on that. 7-play drive. Roberts had 5 carries for 23 yards. And I agree with you, Rich. It feels like Air Force got themselves right back into this game.
DePore's kick through the end zone. Armed Forces football proudly supported by USAA. Dirk Cutter surrounded by his offense. Cutter, of course, longtime head coach and offensive coordinator in both major college football and the NFL, taking over after the disastrous loss at UTEP. He said, we got back to basics. We simplified the offense. We are running it efficiently. And they have tonight, not with George Holani. He has not played. As we noted, he was banged up in a game-time decision. Ashton Genty has been the feature back. He's got 41 yards on 11 carries. And this is Genty straight ahead. And he breaks a couple tackles. Michael Mack finally brings him down, but not after he gets 6 more yards.
And that's what Genty brings to the table. He's 205 pounds. And he's only 5'8", but short does not mean small. He runs with incredible power behind his pads. As we see a Falcon slow to come up as Michael Mack is being tended to.
Mack was banged up and missed a couple of weeks. Just back in that cornerback rotation.
Talking to some of the coaches down on the field today, they've been banged up a little bit at the cornerback position. Trey Williams actually getting the start here tonight. And a secondary that's been really good against the pass is hurting for bodies.
This run is strung out. Christopher Herrera, Jaden Thiergood in pursuit. Gonna bring up 3rd down. It's a loss of 2.
See Herrera coming from this backside here, but it's because of the push up front. Incredible job by Jaden Thiergood. The play side tackle there to get penetration, which forced the back to stop, that allowed Herrera to close and get the tackle.
Crowd is alive here in Colorado Springs. Under 5.5 minutes left, 2nd quarter. Taylon Green getting the start. On 3rd down, blitz comes. Green in the pocket. Quick trigger, short throw, and is it complete? Yes, they'll call it a catch. Billy Bowen's coming back to the football, and it's enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, they're going to have to take a look at this. Taylon Green throwing off his back foot, but it looks clean. Nothing to look at there.
No review. Noah, and he's hit immediately and wrapped up.
But you saw how quickly Boise State wanted to snap the ball so that they could get a chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, ultra tempo.
Incredible job there of getting underneath the football by Billy Bowens.
Like the crook of his arm between the elbow and the bicep initially, and then hauled it in.
Yeah, he had his first touchdown of his career against Fresno State a couple weeks ago.
Corner blitz. Green escapes, finds a man, that's Cobbs, and Cobbs is inside Air Force territory with a big gain down to the 41-yard line.
And credit Dirk Cutter for finding some opportunities for Taylon Green to show his legs, again moving the launch point. Just a simple pitch and catch in the zone defense there, the Falcons.
And that's exactly what he told us. He says right now he's a much better passer out of the pocket, on the move.
Takes his head out of it. He's too jittery inside the pocket. There's some big dudes that are coming after you and hitting you. You can't blame the guy, but to be an effective quarterback, you have to set your feet, so moving his launch point and getting him outside helps.
Hey, you'll take those numbers any time.
All day.
From the 41, Noah. Boise hit the hole quickly, and he finds himself inside the 36-yard line. T.D. Blackman made the stop. It's a gain of about 6.
Just want you to see the double team blocks here by the right guard and right tackle just caving in that side of the line of scrimmage. I mean, that is incredible offensive line play up front for a unit that was much maligned early on in the season.
Now Genty, and he's got the first down. Blackman the stop. That's 5 more yards. It's a 1-2 punch. Ashton Genty, a freshman. Elion Noah, the junior transfer.
He takes dudes for a ride, doesn't he? I mean, Blackman's a pretty sure tackler, but he gets hit 2 yards before the line to gain, but drags him forward for the first down. There's about 3 minutes left here in this second quarter, Rich. Air Force has all 3 timeouts. Boise wants to score points here, but bleeding the clock is also on their list of things to do.
Green in the pocket, flips it deep, incomplete. He had a man in his face, and I think that altered the throw. Thiergood was that defender.
Yeah, it's really hard for Taylon Green. If he's not comfortable and his feet aren't set, which they weren't there, you're throwing off your back foot. You can't get the velocity and the location that you want on it. He had a shot there, but the inaccuracy led to the incompletion.
And again, this is the part of the field where Air Force's defense has been the best. Just before or just inside the red zone. Right here, Boise State is outside of the 30-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Under 3 minutes left. Dirk Cutter's offense has been efficient. And their young quarterback's going to call a timeout. We're back in 30. Boise State on the move and on top.
We'll take the second charge timeout.
For a redshirt freshman quarterback who hops right in as a starter, tries to turn things around, I can't think of a better offensive coordinator than a guy like Dirk Cutter to guide him.
And he was an analyst on this team, so he was very familiar with the scheme, with the personnel. And he said, the thing I knew I needed to do is to give these guys confidence. They were close, and he certainly found a way to do that.
2nd down and 10. And Green, we haven't seen him carry the ball much. Remember, he had a 40-yard run that was called back on the first drive. It's going to be a 3rd down and about 3.
Yeah, Jaden Thiergood, the defensive end there, completely collapsed, and that was the right read by Green. To your point, one of the rare times that we've seen him, but when he punctures a defense, meaning he gets north and south, it's lights out. He's got speed for days.
After the market is 3rd down and 4. 10th play of this drive.
Huge opportunity for this defense to force another field goal because Air Force gets the ball back to start the second half.
Got to get to the 20. Genty ahead of steam, and I don't think he's going to get there.
You should think about taking a timeout here if you're Air Force.
Well, they have all 3 of them. And Boise State looks like they are bringing the field goal unit on. And Dalmas, who's knocked.
We'll take their first charge timeout of the half.
There's your timeout by Air Force.
Set the game clock.
It's 4th and 1. Dalmas is coming on. He's hit 3 in this ball game, and he's hot right now. He's made 12 in a row in 13 of 15 on the season. We had a chance to visit with him today, and he talks about routine and rhythm and how important they are. I told you that Justin Tucker's his guy. One of the places he gets his rhythm, his mom and dad had a classic rock band. And so when they were done performing, Jonah would jump up on the drums and play the drums, and that's kind of where the rhythm started.
That's amazing. The big question, though, Rich, is where do you get your rhythm?
Well, it's a big assumption that I have any. Right?
We'll ask your wife about that. She says you're a great dancer. She doesn't know what song you're dancing to, but you get down.
And you know what? He came out, and now he's back off the field. Wow. And so Boise State looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Genty in the backfield. Actually about 4th and 2. Got to get to the 20. Air Force shows blitz. They may try to get him to jump offside. Genty asks Green about the play.
Yeah, they're trying to get him to jump.
Air Force not biting.
Nope. Great discipline by the Falcons.
And a timeout by Andy Avalos, so he doesn't lose the 5 yards. Not a bad gamble.
No, especially since Air Force took the time out there. Maybe you get a freebie. I would have been shocked if they had gone for that. To your point about how well Air Force has done in the red zone.
All right, coming up at halftime, powered by Ram Trucks. Amanda Garrett, Kevin Carter, Houston Nutt from our CBS Sports Network studio in New York for a look around college football. Got highlights, got scores from around the country, first half stats and analysis. We were talking about the lineage of football coaches at Boise State, starting with, of course, Dirk Cutter. Cutter really got it started. Dan Hawkins, Chris Peterson, Brian Hartson, now Andy Avalos. The coach that he took over for, Houston Nutt.
Yeah, Houston Dale.
1 year at Boise State.
I mean, think about the talent and the pedigree of head coaches that have come through that little old city in Idaho, man. It's pretty amazing what this program has done.
It ain't so little anymore.
No, it's not. Thank you, Tech World.
And back in out of Meridian, Idaho, Jonah Dalmas. From 39. Boy, he's perfect. He's 4 of 4. He's hit 13 straight, and he stretches Boise State's lead 19-7 back in 30. Boise had the first possession. Air Force gets it.
Yes, and you take a look at the first half points and the games allowed so far this season for Air Force. 7.6, but tonight they've been gassed with 19, but their defense has held multiple times in the red zone, and it ain't been pretty between the 20s, but they've gotten themselves off the field and forced Boise and Dalmas to kick field goals, and that gives them a chance here in this ball game. There's 1:49 left. You have 2 timeouts. We'll get into the strategy here in a second, but this thing looked like it was going to be a runaway blowout, but here the Falcons are getting the ball back under 2 minutes and start the second half with the football. Incredible opportunity here for the Falcons.
Right now we get a chance, and I'm sure there are fans out there wondering what Air Force's 2-minute offense looks like. I mean, he's looking for it right now.
Well played by you. Well, Zeke Daniels, a lot of people may not know, was a spread quarterback in high school, so he is very capable of being able to throw the football. So a guy like David Cormier at 6'3", 225 pounds is a viable target. Kyle Patterson is out as per Sherry's report, so he's not. But Air Force is either going to try to do what they do and bleed this clock and go in at halftime or get something going.
You saw that 43 yards to the target line, and Roberts straight ahead.
And the first play of a 2-minute drive is the most important, and it's really indicative of what the strategy is for the offense. That play call there by Mike Thiessen is a conservative one. Air Force is happy here to bleed this clock, go in at halftime, knowing they're getting the ball back with a chance to make adjustments to start the third quarter.
You like that?
It's as bad as things have been pitching the football. Yeah, you don't want to get too fancy or too cute. And the fact that Boise State's out of timeouts, it's the safest thing to do.
Roberts to the 32. Jackson Cravens makes the stop. Mike Thiessen is, as you noted, one of the very best in the game at making adjustments. And just a disastrous start. 3 fumbles on the perimeter early for his offense. They had the nice touchdown drive. But here, getting the football to start the second half. Air Force has always been a really, really good third quarter team.
This will be the last snap of this half.
There's that quarterback counter again, and Daniels breaks it. First down's going to stop the clock. Do you think about a timeout or taking a shot, or are you still headed to the locker room?
It's interesting, and that makes it difficult, but the fact that that was on third down and not the first play to start this drive, I think your strategy still needs to stay the same and just be conservative.
You hear the crowd, they want to see a shot. I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, they don't even have to snap the ball here.
Well, Daniels.
Interesting.
Going to look deep. He's pursued, and he escapes out of bounds. So we're going to take somewhat of a shot.
Yeah, and why not do that earlier? If you're going to go that route, maybe the first down changed his mind. But nonetheless, Boise State's up 19-7, and Air Force gets the ball back to start the second half. And they're a pretty good second half adjustment team, and they're going to need to do it because their offense has been struggling.
Ashton Genty, Talon Green. Boise State's offense, terrific. Zeke Daniels got in the end zone. That's the end of the first half. We'll send you back to CBS Sports Network studios in New York for the Ram halftime report after this. 4 first-half field goals for Boise State. Halftime lead over Air Force. Air Force about to get the football. Rich Waltz along with Aaron Taylor. Sherry Burris will join us shortly. Defense terrific for both sides.
Yeah, that was really the story of the first half, was Boise State's defense holding Air Force to 84 first-half yards, the Falcons' lowest of the season. And defensively for Air Force, they really shut down Boise State's run game there in the second quarter, only 11 yards on 10 carries. So not much to celebrate offensively, but we've got some things to celebrate. Happy birthday, Rich Waltz. Look at that. Get that thing in the middle there a little bit.
I thought I flew under the radar because, I mean, all the prep this week, dinner last night, into the game, nobody said anything, and I thought I had skated under. But thank you.
No, buddy. We got great researchers here at CBS Sports that tell us what we need to know.
Here I am, Mr. Serious Football Guy, and all the time you were sitting on that.
Man, and it's pumpkin, which is my favorite, and I might have had something to do with that.
Oh, look at this guy. Thank you, partner.
Man, happy birthday, buddy. And for what it's worth, you don't look a day over 80.
Thank you, research department. Jonah Dalmas ready to roll in the second half. Air Force gets the football. They are down. We're headed down to Sherry Burris. Hi, Sherry.
Hey, Rich. Well, Coach Avalos wants to see his guys come out with that same fast start here in the second half. And when it comes to stopping the top rushing offense in the country, he likes the physicality and wants to see his guys play more disciplined, holding them only to 47 yards in the first half. So Coach Calhoun, on the other hand, saying to get the run game going, they need to get first downs and move the ball forward. But defensively, he likes the way they settled in, giving up only field goals, not touchdowns. Wants to stop their offense earlier, not when they get in the red zone.
All right, Sherry, good stuff. All right, let's see what adjustments both sides have made. And we'll start with Zeke Daniels, the Air Force offense. And as you would expect, Brad Roberts' first carry, and he bangs forward. He was the spark plug that started that offense in the first half.
And it was the guy whose legs, along with Zeke Daniels in this game a year ago, were the difference. Brad Roberts has to get more involved. Only 9 carries in that first half, Rich. He had 29 in their game last week against UNLV. I think they should dial up 20 and Zeke Daniels' legs as well here in the second half.
Second down and a long 4. 3 fumbles, 1 of them lost. They all came on the perimeter. Maybe that's why they're staying with Roberts between the tackles here. George Tarlas makes the stop for Boise State. And now a third down and a long 3.
Tarlas is that defensive end, that transfer from Weber State that has played so well and really added a lot of physicality and athleticism to this defensive line.
This is usually a very favorable down for Air Force.
And maybe one they may want to consider 4-down territory given the circumstances.
With 39%, 49%, they pick up that first down. That's Daniels, and he's inside Boise State territory. Cravens makes the stop, and this looks more like the Air Force we know.
And they're dialing up the 2 guys that did what they did. This is just a simple quarterback lead play. They were using Brad Roberts to go up on the linebacker, but the left side of that offensive line did its job. They were able to create some room to run, and 4 did the rest.
Troy Calhoun told us yesterday he suspected that Boise may encourage Zeke Daniels to run the football. And he did that. Remember, it was Daniels on a touchdown run. Play action here. Daniels in trouble. Scrambling. A lot of pursuit. Wings it down the field. And it's almost caught there. Coming back into the pattern. Everybody was covered. It was incomplete. John Lee Eldridge was out in the pattern.
Yeah, he had Eldridge initially, but there was pressure right there that spooks him out because Eldridge is open right here, but Hazik Daniels has to pull the ball down, and that allows the defensive back, Tyreek Jones, to be able to recover. And maybe Jones got a little bit of a grab there, but that play had a chance, but the pressure up front negated it.
Jones single-handedly stopped the run game for Air Force those first few drives out on the perimeter.
Yeah, he was excellent. They were playing him like a kind of a hybrid overhang player on the defensive line. Enough athleticism and size to do what they needed.
And Daniels is going to run it, reverses course, and then dives forward for maybe a yard. And this is a 3rd down and 9. And Daniels holding that right ankle. That's not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all.
And if he has to come out, and I think he's going down to a knee.
Have to now.
That will allow Air Force to make the change on this 3rd down and 9 without burning a timeout.
And maybe they bring Ben Britton in, who came in against Nevada and threw a 80-yard touchdown on his first pass attempt. Everything looks good there, but right there he steps. And he's just trying to get down there. It's really hard after you twist your ankle. You know you don't trust it. You don't know how bad it is, so players will go down, and clearly Daniels is in some pain there.
There are 2 junior quarterbacks at the disposal of Mike Thiessen, the Air Force offensive coordinator. Jensen Jones, who's a junior out of Naples, Florida, and Ben Britton, a junior out of Hewitt, Texas. Britton has the better arm and is a better thrower. Jones operates the triple option a little better, is more dangerous on the ground. Let's see who they go with here on this 3rd down and 9. And it's Jensen Jones, the junior out of Naples.
So remember, ball security's been a problem for Air Force. So if you're offensive coordinator Mike Thiessen, yes, you want to convert this, but you don't want to put the ball in jeopardy to do so.
Boise State, Jones, quarterback draw, trying to find a seam, and a straight arm, and a gain of 3. Ezekiel Noah, Tyreek Jones made the stop. And this looks like a punt situation for Air Force.
Excellent job there by the Broncos defense to smell that out. The backers stayed home and did a nice job of not being fooled. There was very little room there to run for Jensen Jones. And 3rd and 9 is a situation that this offense isn't built to overcome.
Carson Bay will punt it. Latrell Caples is deep. This is not a bad area for a fake punt. And I think Boise State realizes that. They have 10 men up and around the line of scrimmage.
They got Utah State on one.
End over end kick. And it goes into the end zone. Boise State gets their first possession when we get back. Yesterday at San Jose State, running back Camden McWright, on his way to a team meeting, was killed in a traffic accident not far from campus. Today's Spartans game at New Mexico State was postponed, and our thoughts are with McWright's family and also with the entire Spartan football program. Camden McWright, a freshman. He was 18. (19-7) Boise State, first possession, second half. Hey, tomorrow it starts at 5 Eastern. NWSL semifinals. Portland and San Diego, followed by the OL Reign out of Seattle, and the Kansas City Current at 7:30. See which 2 teams advance to this year's championship match right here on CBS Sports Network. On the ground, El Elyon Noah. Man, he rarely goes down at first hit. He has himself a nice gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Our Servpro first responder.
Yeah, that's of course going to be Ashton Genty and the role that he played early on in this ball game, both through the air and on the ground. He's playing for the injured George Halani. Has the only touchdown of the game for the Broncos, and after that touchdown, it's been nothing but field goals. So let's see what adjustments Boise State makes there in the second half, because their run game was stifled there in the second quarter.
Noah again, and he's going to get maybe 2. Just to remind you, if you just happened upon this football game, George Halani, who's averaging 91 yards a game, leading rusher for Boise State, has not played. And Dirk Cutter, the new offensive coordinator, has turned to Ashton Genty and El Elyon Noah. They're the first half possessions for the Broncos. 4 field goals, and I'm sure Boise State and all the Bronco fans are hoping that doesn't come back to bite them.
Yeah, Dirk Cutter's got his work cut out for him. Only 11 rush yards on 10 carries in that second quarter. Air Force, credit that defense. They figured some things out for the Broncos.
Low snap, flags down.
False start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. Man's third down.
I don't know about you, but I'm taking Christian Watson if there's a battle of the college football referees.
Well, Rich, you take a look at the third quarter points allowed for Air Force this season. Only 7 on the year. That's tied for second in all of college football. We've hit this over and over in this game. The adjustments that these coaching staff for the guys in blue make is remarkable. And that penalty for the Broncos certainly didn't help. Took something that was pretty easy and made it third and long and difficult.
Green in the pocket, fires, caught there. Caples, crossing pattern, covered by Trey Taylor, and that's enough for a first down out to the 34.
Great protection up front by this offensive line, and Green's feet were a little bit more settled. That is great footwork, and the ball's on the money, a little low and outside for Caples, but he puts it on the money, and that's one of those rare throws from inside the pocket that he delivers with accuracy. As we're taking a look at Hazik Daniels, who's just now coming out of the injury tent. Grabs his helmet, which is always a good sign.
You can see that right ankle is heavily taped. Tyler Crow, Elion Noah in the backfield. Play action. Green steps into the pocket, fires down the sideline, and that's Crow who makes the catch. Camby Goff in coverage. Tyler Crow, a walk-on who's earned a scholarship, plays everywhere on special teams, and a big play from him.
Yeah, it's just a simple wheel route, and credit Taylon Green coming off his initial throw. He wanted to hit the deep route on the inside, but basically goes to this extra long check down. Camby Goff is too far behind in coverage. The ball's underthrown, but a nice adjustment to come back by Crow for the reception.
Green again in the pocket, again on the money, caught.
Whoa!
In the air, and it's picked off, and Air Force has it. Michael Mack. And a big play for the Air Force defense.
Oh, that's the play that this Air Force needed. Jaden Goodwin is the one that dislodged that football, and Michael Mack sitting there playing center field. And turnovers always tell the story for Air Force. Stephon Cobbs took quite the shot, but Air Force, the defense hanging in there, always bending but not breaking, and now getting the turnover, just the break that this offense may need.
Time for a day in the life of a cadet, brought to you by today's military. Jaden Goodwin with the hit that forced the interception. This is just like Aaron Taylor's itinerary at Notre Dame on a daily basis. 6:30 wake up, 7 o'clock breakfast, class, marching, lunch, officer development, and then he'll take a break for plays like this.
And this is a well-thrown ball by Taylon Green, but he comes over and dislodges the football, and Michael Mack's there to get it. That's a second game in a row that Jaden Goodwin has forced a huge turnover.
And it's Jones still at quarterback. They like the way he runs the option, and he picks up a nice gain. Ezekiel Noah makes the stop. That's 7 yards. If you've just joined us, Hazik Daniels sprained his ankle on the last play. Went to the tent, taped up heavily, but Jensen Jones, the junior, is in running the show. And there's a look at Daniels on the sideline, 2nd and 2 after the turnover, which, by the way, was a terrific throw by Taylon Green, but he gets charged, I would think, on the interception. I don't know that there was possessed long enough to be a fumble. I think that goes as an interception. 2nd down 2. Roberts and company, and that offensive line pushes him across the 30-yard line. Let's go down to Sherry Burris. Sherry?
Well, guys, the last 6 minutes, Air Force trainers working on quarterback Daniels. You see him still here on the sideline holding his helmet. He did come out of the tent, did some short sprints, Well, in the tent, I saw a trainer bring out some tape. Looked like they cut it off his ankle. If you see that right foot, fresh tape, even this time around his heel. So when he gets back in, we'll see how this limits his mobility.
All right, thank you, Sharon. And we'll keep an eye on Jensen Jones, a first down here. Omar Fatah in the backfield. Jones is going to follow him through that hole over the right tackle. And he's going to pick up 3 yards. Armed Forces football is proudly supported by ServPro.
Yeah, that injury to Hazik Daniels, it's tough to have a lower extremity injury as a quarterback in any system, but it's particularly challenging in this one. So it's going to be up to Jensen Jones, and now
Ben Britton.
Ben Britton's coming in, and this might be a high percentage throw situation.
Remember, Britton has thrown an 80-yard touchdown pass this year. Little play action, he's in trouble, fires it, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Caleb Rios, the tight end. This is going to be 3rd down and 7.
Really nice job by the defensive line here to get in his face. Really great job there by Dimitri Washington, number 38. He stays home. He's the force player, and because he got in Britton's face, it didn't allow the play to set itself up.
And right now, as you coming off the field, you see Washington for Boise State. It's rotating quarterbacks because Jensen Jones is back in. Fatah in the backfield. This is a 3rd and 7. And a quarterback counter up and over. Oh, and the football pops out upon impact. If it's impact, then it's not a fumble. And it looked like in real time the impact caused the fumble. But Jensen Jones hopefully is all right at the bottom of that.
Yeah, he was hit and did a somersault flip, and I think his head hits the ground. And to your point, that's when the ball comes out. He would be down when that part of his body hits the ground.
This is scary. Watch this landing.
Oof. That is so much pressure and torque, and you see he goes to grab the left side of his shoulder there. That often can be an indicator of something going on in that region of the body.
Well, Daniels obviously is down right now, and you see Jones coming off. We'll keep an eye on him as he gets to the sideline. Boise State's defense
showing up again.
Yeah, we haven't talked enough about Spencer Danielson, defensive coordinator, and the flags come down. It took a while, and Troy Calhoun's not happy as they sorted out the play. They may be putting some more time up on the play clock here because the referee is trying to placate Calhoun.
There is no foul for false start. Ball is being held by us for administrative issues. 4th down.
In referee speak, that's my bad.
Troy was none too pleased.
You could just see Christian Watson go, hey, it's okay. No, just hey, it's okay. We're gonna.
I got you, coach. I got you.
High kick. Capel's going to try to return it, and he's blasted after the catch right about the 16-yard line. Emotional night here. Hey, it's okay, coach. We got you. 19-7 Boise State.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by Today's Military.
2019, last time the Broncos won the Mountain West. They beat Nick Rolovich's Hawaii team in the championship. Jalen Henderson had that big night, threw for over 212 yards. At stake here tonight, Air Force is at 2-2. Colorado State won again. They beat Hawaii. They're at 2-1. If Boise State wins this game, they're really in the driver's seat. Air Force needs to win here, then they're going to need some help, but at least it gets them in the equation, in the conversation. El Elyon Noah to the 20-yard line, and again, Boise State is operating without George Holani tonight. But Ashton Genty and El Elyon Noah doing pretty well.
They are, and the rush yards after contact has been impressive for both of these teams, particularly Noah and Genty. That was free safety Trey Taylor that made that tackle near the line of scrimmage. Both of these teams bringing their safeties down into the box to try to stop this run game, and both of them have done a pretty dang good job all night long. It's been a good, tough physical contest down there in the trenches.
On a pitch, trying to get outside. And Boise State now with a 3rd down and 3.
That was running back 25, who's not on the dress roster for us up here, so we'll get that name to you. But more importantly, 3rd and 3 here for Boise State.
Elion Noah in the backfield now. Now the Broncos going really deep in their depth chart. And I don't know if that was it. Sometimes you have a uniform that is torn and a new number. Regardless, Green's throw to the sideline. That's Riley Smith on the sideline, has the ball, and is inbounds at the 36-yard line.
It was really, really close, and this is, again, part of the location problems. Ball hits him right in the gullet, and that right knee is down. Just a wonderful job there, bringing in that reception by Smith.
This under review, I would think. Boise State obviously hustling to try to get the snap up. And we have identified the mystery runner, number 25, Caden Dudley, who's not on any of our rosters for Boise State.
They're going deep into the bag of running backs.
I mean, they have, really, right? I mean, we've seen Genty and Crow and Elion Noah.
And Dudley must be a player that's got some speed, because that was a rare toss play where you try to circle the defense and get to the perimeter.
Under further review.
Okay, this is under review, our first look. I mean, he was right on the sideline, so immediately you're thinking, makes the catch, it feels like, but that the both feet look like they're right up either on or around that line.
To me, Rich, it looks like he catches the ball, his knees are down, and his feet are starting to go back, but lift up right there at the very end, which allows that right knee to be in bound with possession. And at the very least, I think this is going to stand, but I think that's a good catch straight up.
That's a good point, because the original call holds incredible weight here. If they don't have enough evidence to overturn, then it's a call stands. I don't know that they can confirm the call. That's really close from that angle.
Yeah, and I also saw there his right elbow went down a little bit before the knee even. So to me, that's a further indicator that at the end of the day, whatever they come back with, this is going to be 1st and 10 Boise State.
Watch Taylor's reaction, number 7 for Air Force. Here comes the call.
After further review, call stands. 1st down, Boise State. Air Force will not be charged a timeout. Replay paged us prior to the coach calling timeout.
Well, that's great communication there from Christian Watson. So not Air Force initiated. Replay booth wanted to take a look at it.
And how about Taylon Green the night he's had? 13 of 19 for over 200 pass yards now. No touchdowns, does have the 1 interception, but as we pointed out, probably not totally on him because the ball got jarred free.
Noah, and a gain of a couple. All right, let's check in with Sherry Burris. Sherry?
Well, guys, Troy Calhoun said Taylon Green reminds him of a star college player and NFL QB Vince Young. The sizeables, the measurables, they are very comparable. And I chatted with Young this week about Green, and he told me he thinks the Bronco QB is playing really well. And the two actually, they've been in contact earlier this season. And Young told me Green, he will be watching and will be a support system if he ever needs it. And I got to say, that's a pretty great mentor for a freshman.
Man.
Those numbers are eerily similar, and a pair of Texas quarterbacks as well.
Snap infraction. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. Remain 2nd down.
That's Will Farah, the center, who's playing for the hurting Polomia Gonzalez. You see right there, he flinches, and you just can't do that. And that's tough in that situation. Crowd here, the band was playing, was a little bit loud, but those are the penalties that make converting drives difficult and drive coaches crazy.
Green, little inside screen. Caples has it, trying to gash that second level, and he gets to the 41. So a nice gain, but short of the first down, 8 yards on the play.
Really like the game that Dirk Cutter is calling. He's putting Green in a position to do what he can do. It's either deep against one-on-one coverage or it's underneath towards the outside where the football is safest.
Third down, 5.
Air Force has been heavy pressure off the edges on third down tonight. And here they bail.
Green into the pocket. Scrambles. And he's right at the stick, and he lunges forward for the first down. Just shy of the 47-yard line.
Man, I tell you, watching Green on tape, he's a lot more fast than he is quick, but this is a beautiful dead leg that allows him to move the sticks right here. Boom. Just completely breaks down number 35, Jonathan Youngblood, who's charged with spying and shadowing him to make sure that he didn't do what he just did.
Noah ends up in the arms of Peyton Zadroik. No gain, second down and 10. Clock running, approaching 2 minutes left. Third quarter. No one has scored in this quarter. Boise State has kicked 4 field goals in this football game. Air Force scored their lone touchdown in the second quarter.
It hadn't been pretty, but I want to commend both of these teams on both sides of the ball. They're playing hard. They haven't played well at times, but they're giving it their all, and that's what college football is about.
Second down, Green on the move. Little flip, that's Hopper, the tight end. And he's bounced out of bounds by Bo Richter. And he's got the first down. They're going to mark that. It looks like at the 42, and that's enough for the first down.
You're going to watch the defensive end come down in the side and crash, but there's nobody responsible, and they slip the tight end out. That's a great adjustment off what's called a split flow zone, one of their bread and butter run plays.
It was actually Michael Mack with the hit to finish the play. Flags down. Green plants the foot, fires the ball on the money. This one is held. That's Caples. That's all the way down at the 24, but the flag is back in the backfield. And the Broncos were rushing to the line, trying to keep
illegal formation, 5 in the backfield, offense, 5 penalty, and it's first down.
And wipes out a 19-yard throw and catch.
They haven't had many penalties, but the ones that they've had have been devastating. The game started this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He should be up on the line a little bit more off that left side. And that's why you always see receivers come and get lined up, point at the official to make sure that they're on or off. That was a big mistake there.
Air Force is 47 now. First down and 15. Noah, yardage is much harder to come by, as you pointed out, from mid-second. Late flag is in. From late second to now, Air Force much better against the run.
Well, you live by physicality and you die by it. Just a great job by Garrett Curran, but I think there was...
After the play, personal foul, late hit, offense, number 69. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Down counts. Second down.
This is tough, man. You love the demeanor, and this is really what was missing from Boise State's offensive line to start the year. Gets a pancake right there on Youngblood, and then boom, jumps on him. And that's akin to sacking the quarterback and driving your body weight onto the player. It's a good call because it keeps the game safe.
An illegal pancake.
But if you're watching film there and you're their offensive line coach, you're feeling pretty good about bringing physicality. But again, another very costly penalty, and you just can't have it.
Second and 28. Green to throw, rolling right, lots of time, and throws it into the third row.
Great. Beautiful pass.
The Cadets were open. 3rd and 28.
But this is the thing that plagued Air Force early as they started marching backwards. This Boise State team a couple weeks ago against Fresno State only had 3 penalties for 30 yards. They've had 3 penalties on this drive alone, and they've been significant ones. What's your play call on 3rd and 28? Probably a screen or a draw or delay, something that's safe, and just try to punt this ball away and pin Air Force's defense deep.
4-receiver look. Riley Smith, the tight end, top of your screen. Green whips it, and that is Riley Smith. Makes the catch at the 47. Still a long, long ways from a first down. He's a long, long ways from where that original first down was.
Watch Kern right here. He ends up blocking 2 people. He sticks his hand out at the end on the looper right there, and that's what allows Green to have that little extra split time. That is next level offensive line play. And man, I got to tell you, that ends a 3rd quarter with 2 teams that are going back and forth.
On to the 4th. Boise State still on top. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, no points in the 3rd quarter. Boise State had to settle for 4 field goals in the first half, and it's still 19-7. And Air Force going to get the football as Boise State is lined up to punt on this busy college football Saturday. And you can see Broncos have James Ferguson Reynolds in.
Rich, I thought you brought up a really good point at break, that because of the way Boise State's been able to control the football, the Falcons may only get 2 or 3 more possessions. This really feels like this first drive to start the 4th quarter is a must-have.
And Air Force almost got a punt block there. Fair catch called for Amari Terry. So what's happened on this busy Saturday in our Ram AP Top 10? AT, what do you see?
Well, Ohio State struggled a little bit early, giving up a sack, scoop, and score to Iowa and then completely run away. Tennessee, a little bit of a hangover. They did the same thing. Clemson beating Syracuse with a backup quarterback. That was pretty impressive. But how about LSU taking down undefeated Ole Miss? I made the prediction that this was going to be a pretty crazy season down the stretch, and it certainly looked to do that nationwide. As a Falcon fan, you have to feel really good about seeing 4 back up underneath center.
And so Daniels is back in. Jensen Jones has played. Ben Britton took a snap. And Daniels now, you know, Air Force felt that Boise's defense was really going to encourage Daniels to run. Multiply that by 10 right now with a sore ankle.
It's extremely, extremely hard, and that's where Brad Roberts coming in, I think, gives them an opportunity to move the football in the way that they're accustomed. We talked about it. Get Hazik Daniels going along with Brad Roberts. That was the recipe that worked a year ago that just simply hasn't shown up here tonight.
Roberts has only 46 yards on 12 carries. Daniels sets up, sore foot and all. On the money, that's Cormier. Cross the 40. Ball was moving as Cormier came down. J.L. Skinner on the coverage. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, I think this ball comes loose at the end, but what an incredible throw in tight coverage.
I think that's enough for a catch. I think there was a football move. I think that's enough for a catch, but, you know, the replay officials are looking at it, and they may take a longer look at it.
They're not looking at anything now. If you're Daniels, snap that ball. Irrelevant.
Daniels has a seam, gets to the outside. Hazik Daniels, 30-yard line and out of bounds. Right ankle feeling better.
And this is the adjustment that they didn't do. In the first half, Daniels would have pitched that ball, but he makes the right read, pulls it himself, and is off to the races. Rich, let's go back and take a look at that ball. Air Force very smartly snapped it very quickly where the officials didn't have a chance to review. That ball's moving. It would have been very close, and it hits the ground. Rich, I agree with you. There was a step in there that could have been looked upon as a football move, but now we'll never know because it's a moot point.
Roberts Well, with that replay, my guess is that the replay officials took a look at it because we looked at that back angle before the next snap, which means they looked at that back angle.
They've been very good all night, but that is a play that should have been looked at.
Early fourth quarter, Air Force has hung in here. Their defense in the red zone has forced 4 Boise State field goals to keep it at 19-7. And now Daniels with a sore ankle off the bench and moving the team. And Roberts blasts ahead. Ezekiel Noah makes the stop. That's a gain of 3. This is 3rd down and 3.
Now the challenge here is if you get a field goal, if you're Air Force, it's still a 2-score game at 19-10. So if you're the Falcons, you're thinking 4-down territory and you're thinking touchdown all the way.
Roberts, the yards have been hard, 52 of them with 14 carries. Got to get to the 21 here. Roberts straight ahead. Great surge by the offensive line, and that's a 1st down, and it's inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
The left side of that offensive line is eating. Look at the displacement there, and what an incredible block there by Ben Jefferson. Lined up offset. He's the lead back right there and just absolutely bowls over George Charles, who's had a pretty dang good game tonight. That's the sort of improvement and movement that this unit's needed up front.
You can see how good Air Force is in the red zone. 75%, well over the national average for touchdowns when you get there. And of course, as we showed you in the first half, Roberts is Mr. Red Zone when it comes to Air Force.
He finds creases. He sees what's not there. He's extremely powerful, but he's also crafty. The yards after contact for him, he just has this incredible knack of getting in between the cracks, and that's why he's going to lead this campus as the most productive fullback in Air Force history.
2nd and 5, and you would think Roberts, well, there's that counter by the quarterback. Daniels trying to get outside, and he doesn't have the speed, and he can't get out of the way of Kaniho, who comes up and makes the play.
Ezekiel Noah, what a tremendous job of spiking this. Here he is here. He's going to come through, and it's going to force Daniels to go to the outside. He goes, but he reads it perfectly. He reads that, and he forces it out and spills it to the support there out on the edge, and Kaniho gets it. But this is the 4-down territory that we're talking about, Rich. So if you're Air Force, you're not thinking everything here and going with a low percentage play. You want to run bread and butter offense and put yourself in a 4th and 3 or less.
3rd and 10. Daniels, time, fires, man open, caught there. That's Terry. Amari Terry with a 1st down, 14 yards, and Air Force is on the doorstep.
These are beautiful balls that Zeke Daniels is playing. And how about the toughness of this young man coming in with the heavily taped ankle, and he's feeling it. This is a game where it would have been very easy for Air Force to give up, but here they are, one of the best teams in the country in goal-to-go situations.
They have not gotten into the end zone on goal-to-go situations. And Roberts forges ahead to the 3-yard line.
I mean, this is where Roberts loves to hunt. This is what they did a week ago, a career-high 4 rushing touchdowns, all from inside the 10-yard line. He had 29 carries, 144 yards total. Again, the red zone is not about plays, it's about players, and Air Force should keep feeding 20.
2nd and goal to go. Roberts is in! Touchdown, Air Force, and the game gets tighter.
$11 plays, 82 yards, Rich. And Brad Roberts, who was so quiet in the first half, comes up big time here. And man, you got to feel good about these guys defending our country, because there is no quit in the Falcons.
DePore for the point. And the kick is good. What a drive. Daniels with a sore ankle, out of the game, comes back in. And a long drive fueled by his arm. The Cormier catch, then his run. And then it's goal to go. That's Brad Roberts' time. 19-14, Boise State.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by WeatherGuard, truck and van storage equipment. By Papa John's. Try one of the new Papa Bowls today. And by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Remember all those stops by the Air Force defense inside the 30, which forced field goals by Boise State. 4 of them. And they had the pick inside the red zone. And we wondered, was that going to come back to bite Boise State, even though the Broncos were really moving the ball in the first half. And here we are, 19-14, Boise State, 9:15 left. You were talking about the record by fullback, and Roberts at 2,735 on that last drive has the record.
It's incredible. This was expected. We've covered this guy for a couple different years now and just watched his production. The greatest ability a running back can have is availability. So as impressive as the yards that Roberts put up has been his durability as well. Now Boise State, after 5 straight scoring drives in the first half, has ended their 2 drives here with an interception and a punt. They got to get it going.
Elion Noah gets it going out to the 32, and we go down to the sideline. Sherry Burris.
Rich, Boise State running back group, their depth being tested. I see George Halani down here no longer in uniform. You see him here in sweats. Also, Coach Avalos told us, remember, he's a soft tissue injury. Also looking for Ashton Gentry down here. I have not seen him at all in the second half.
That's a good point. We've been looking for him as well on the sideline and haven't located him yet. So Elion Noah and Tyler Crow getting a lot of work. Noah getting the most runs here. This is Noah. Burst through to the 34. He's still shy of the first down by a yard.
Really big plays on those first 2, especially first down. This is a 3rd and very makeable short for Boise State. And if you're the Broncos, you don't want to get too conservative, but you realize every possession matters because of the way that Air Force has come alive offensively. So this is a must-have situation for this group.
Good number of Boise State fans have come to Colorado Springs. 3rd and 1.
Clydesdale. Oh!
Movement. There were Clydesdales on the field. Herbert Gums was out there. Scott Matlock was on there.
Cravens was out there, and they jumped.
Snap infraction. Offense. Number 75. 5-yard penalty. Main 3rd down.
That's the 2nd snap infraction on the backup center, Will Farah. He's having some communication issues. And that takes a 3rd and almost gimme of less than a yard. It brings up 3rd and medium.
It's amazing the defensive linemen in that Clydesdale package, they weren't the ones that jumped.
It's your center. You just can't have it.
They're down at 6. Blitz comes. Green hit as he throws, and it's short. Caples was open, but the rush didn't give Green time to deliver the throw. Bo Richter in the middle of it.
He's Mr. Versatility. Hasn't really been a starter, but he's been a playmaker. Just a good job of selling it, coming inside. Nobody for Boise State picks him up. They were hoping to get the football to Caples, but another underthrown ball. We've seen Caples and these receivers field those, but how costly was another Boise State penalty? They're now kicking the ball off to a team that's within 1 score of taking the lead.
Terry is deep. Air Force nearly blocked the last punt. This time, Ferguson Reynolds runs around it, hits a really nice punt, but doesn't get the roll, and it checks up at the 28-yard line. 7.5 minutes left in this ball game. Bo Richter with a big hit. Air Force down 5, but they got the football. This is the first of 2 in the Mountain West here tonight on CBS Sports Network. Coming up, We're headed to Reno, San Diego State, and Nevada. Right here on CBS Sports Network. Chris Lewis, Robert Turbin, Brandon Baylor have the call for that. Mountain West standings. Boise State atop the mountain. Air Force trying to get to 3-2, put themselves in the conversation for the division title. You see San Diego State looking for a win. They'd like to get to 2-1 and put some pressure on San Jose State and Fresno State.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting year in this conference. No real top-heavy team. Boise State started to emerge like that, but they got to bring this one home.
Formula on that last touchdown drive, Roberts, then Daniels. This is Daniels. He'll keep it and pay the price. Chasing him down was DJ Schramm. Gain of 2.
Well, Rich, this was the last drive for the Falcons. It was a combination of Brad Roberts, but also Zeke Daniels throwing the ball. He was 2 for 2 for 37 yards and then ripped off this long run. And then Brad Roberts, once he got down deep, breaks the record, scores the touchdown, and brings them within 1 score as we see 2nd and 8. And you take a look at that, 12 plays minus 4 and a fumble. Since then, 34 plays, 200-plus yards, and 2 tugs.
Straight ahead, DJ Schramm again with the tackle. Roberts the carry, gain of 3. This is that kind of that 3rd down and medium here. One of the throws on that drive came on this down and distance. 3rd down at about 5.
Yeah, both those throws were 2nd and 4 and 3rd and 5. And if you're Air Force, you're thinking 4-down territory. You'd like to pick this up and extend the sticks, but it may be decision time for Mike Thiessen if they come up short. Oh, he's offsides. He's so close.
Daniels option, and they strung it out. Nice play there. Rodney Robinson finishes it off, and Air Force, you see the offensive line looking to the sideline. Are we going for it or not? And I don't think they are here.
Yeah, it becomes too long of a situation on 4th down, but just a great job of Rodney Robinson, the field safety, coming all the way down to the line of scrimmage to prevent the gain and to force this punt. Boy, these defenses, when they've needed to make plays, they've done it, man.
Luke Freer with the punt, 45 yards. Broncos get it when we return. Keys to the game brought to you by WeatherGuard. We revisit them.
Well, we talked about ball security. The 1 interception on the big hit and the tip ball and stop the dive, stop the drive. Roberts has 72 rush yards and a touchdown, and Air Force has been pretty effective on 3rd down, that last one notwithstanding. But Air Force scoring touchdowns in the red zone, that's really been the difference in giving them a chance to win this ball game and limiting the explosive plays. Yes, Boise State got 4 plays of 20-plus, but they kicked field goals at the end of those drives instead of scoring touchdowns, and that's why we've got us a game that's going to come down to the last possession in the 4th quarter with bragging rights and being in the driver's seat in the Mountain West Conference at stake.
And remember this, Boise State started the game without their leading rusher. George Holani has not played, and they've lost Ashton Genty here in the 2nd half. We've not seen him. He's back in the locker room. There's been no report of injury, but Genty has not been available, so it's been mostly Elion Noah. Every now and then you sprinkle in Tyler Crow. Heck, even Caden Dudley, the mysterious number 25, got in for a carry.
24 second-half rush yards for Boise State in this ball game. This is a unit that has rushed for over 700 yards in their last 2 games combined, averaging 300 yards per game, and they're not even getting 3 yards per rush. That is great run defense by Air Force. And I think we're going to have to see Talon Green's arm at some point on this drive for Boise State to try to get some points.
After further review, replay determined Boise State had 2 number 7s on the field at the time of the punt. That's a foul for illegal numbering. The penalty for that foul is 5 yards from the previous spot. That results in a 1st down for Air Force.
You can have double numbers in college football, but you can't have them on the field at the same time.
Whoa. What a costly penalty, Rich. This takes the ball from being Boise State's to incredibly now being 1st and 10 for Air Force.
So there's a number 7 at the bottom. That's, I believe, is Caples. Oh, that's
Wow.
Oh, it was Turner.
He's the other 7, Rich. That's a turnover, and that may be the ball game if Air Force can take advantage of this.
Roberts gets bent over. Schramm made the stop. That was on 4th down and 4, remember. So because of the penalty, it's enough for the first down, and the drive continues. And as you pointed out, every time Boise State has had a penalty tonight, it's been a really hurtful one.
6 plays for 45 yards, all on offense. They had a 7th penalty for holding that was declined, and now the number infraction extends the drive for Air Force.
Roberts plowing ahead. Remember this, though. Air Force has got 5 minutes left. They have to get in the end zone.
They do. It's a 5-point game right now, and we talked about all night long the inability of Boise State to score touchdowns instead of kicking field goals has their backs against the wall here late in the 4th.
3rd down and a yard. Roberts, in all likelihood, going to get this one. Hit, stays on his feet, surges, and has the first down.
The linebackers for Boise State have played pretty dang well here tonight, crowding the line of scrimmage there, but we talked about the power and ability to run after contact for Brad Roberts, and Air Force has to be really careful here. So the play calling by Mike Thiessen. 3 fumbles tonight for Air Force. They've recovered 2 of them, but they lost a costly one in the first half.
From midfield, Daniels steps up, fires it. That's the first throw where it felt like Daniels' ankle may have influenced the throw.
Yeah, getting hit when he was throwing the football also influenced that. Rich, there was a pretty good job by the defensive end. Scott Matlock, boom, that hits him right as he releases that football. And that was a gutsy call there, throwing the football on 1st and 10 because of the incompletion. Now you're significantly behind the sticks, and Air Force has to work uphill.
I agree with you. Matlock, a much bigger influencer there. Daniels firing, open there, and caught. And it's Terry, and he's inside the 30.
Just an incredible job by Hazik Daniels on the fake and the play action, and it's another wheel route. This time with Terry out of the backfield, nobody picks him up, and the second time they've run it is equally successful, and Air Force is marching.
22 yards, football sits at the Boise State 28. Clock rolling, everybody has all of their timeouts. Air Force 3, Boise State 3. 1st and 10. Pitch. This is John Lee Eldridge, and Eldridge turns the corner, head down, knocked out of bounds. He's going to pick up 7, maybe 8 yards, depending on where they mark it.
This was a play that just simply wasn't there for them in the first half. Rodney Robinson had a shot, but his angle and speed weren't enough to get there. And finally, they have some success on the perimeter.
10th play of this drive, they mark it at the 21. Got to get to it, the 18 for a first down. 2nd down and 3. Roberts in the backfield. Roberts straight ahead, and he's forward enough, I believe, to move the sticks. Inside the red zone is Air Force, down by 5, under 3 minutes. Officials say first down.
And Rich, that under 3 minutes is critical. Air Force is walking a thin line here. Ideally, you have to score and continue to get positive yards in a first down, but you're also wanting to play defense a little bit and bleed as much of this clock as they can.
Timeout. 19-14. Boise State calls the timeout. Back to Colorado Springs after this. All right, we did some forensic investigation to find the 2 7s. And the 2 7s on the roster is Ezekiel Noah and Caples, Latrell Caples. There's Caples in the return, but there's Noah also on the punt return team.
And Noah's not on the punt return team. This is punt safe. That's their starting defense. They know that Air Force is renowned for taking fakes, so the way that you defend that is keeping your starting defense there. Unfortunately, their Mike linebacker, Ezekiel Noah, is also number 7, and Andy Avalos' staff didn't catch it.
1st and 10. Omar Fatah. Zach Larrier in the game. That's Fatah behind Daniels. Boise State 18. Daniels trying the left side. Stops again. Has some open field. Daniels caught at the 15. Matlock got him, but lands at the 14. We'll see where they mark it. A gain of it looks like about 4 at the 15-yard line, and Matlock has been everywhere, as he usually is. Boise State burns another timeout.
Yeah, and that's why this possession is so important for Air Force. If they can continue, obviously, to get positive yards. And I didn't know what Hazik Daniels was doing there and what he looked. He was just running off instinct. That looked like it had a chance to break around. But Boise State, as we talked about it, they're walking that thin line of getting positive yards but trying to bleed the clock and play defense as well so that Boise State has the least amount of time possible. We talked about Hazik Daniels' arm and what he's capable of doing. The wheel routes have been there. Some of the corner routes have been there. The slant and the post routes, and this was one that should have been reviewed that wasn't. But Hazik Daniels, that left the game with a hurt ankle, went into the tent, disappeared for a couple series, got it taped, has come back in, and is leading his team possibly to victory.
Going back to that punt with the 2 sevens on the field. Remember, George Holani returns punts. He's out. That put Caples in his spot most of the night, and so maybe they didn't realize that when they had that defense and Noah on the field.
Troy Calhoun certainly noticed it.
2nd down and 7. Roberts right side, twisting and turning to the 12. This is 3rd down and 5, an obvious 4-down territory. Michael Callahan made the stop for Boise State.
And Boise State's going to want to hold on to that last timeout, either to set up a field goal if they need that at the end, depending on what the result is here, or just stop the clock in general. But if you're Air Force, you're going to tick this thing down as much as you possibly can. The clock is in the favor for the Falcons, not Boise State.
This is 3rd down and a long 4. Roberts, He's going to get maybe 1. Matlock there to meet him, and this is the ball game. 4th down.
Incredible job by Matlock getting penetration there. Roberts had nowhere to go.
I mean, it's not the ball game. Air Force does have 3 timeouts, but it sure feels like it.
Yeah, and you're putting the ball back into Boise's hands, and you don't want that.
Roberts in the backfield. Got to get to the 8. Daniels, play action, rolling, in trouble, flags are down, fires it, it's caught, that's Bryant. He's got the 1st down, but the flag looks like a hold. There's another flag on the other side of the field from the one we saw thrown in the picture.
Offense, 159, 5-yard penalty, made 4th down.
Wow.
Huge. Boise State's been plagued by penalties. Air Force, the best team. You see Matlock gets dragged to the ground right there. And that's on Adam Karras, the right tackle. Didn't know if he was going to play tonight, been sharing time with Caleb Holcomb. But what a brilliant play call there by Mike Thiessen and Hazik Daniels to buy himself time. But this is a really difficult situation.
This is 4th down and 13. Daniels back. Has time, fires, knocked down. How about that? Number 7, Ezekiel Noah. The 7 strike back.
He had a sack, a forced fumble, and an interception in their game against Fresno State. He just falls in the hole and stops the Falcons short. Great defensive stop. Ball game's in Boise's hands. Can they get it done?
Everybody knows 7 is reportedly a lucky number. Not so for Boise State initially in this play. This was a costly, on 4th and 4 on a punt situation, 2 sevens on the field. That gave Air Force a 1st down, continued the drive, and then Ezekiel Noah knocks down the throw. And Boise State, if they can get a first down here, can walk out of here with the win. Tyler Crow is in the backfield. It's 1st and 10. Air Force has all 3 timeouts. A minute 25 left. Crow, is immediately blown up. Peyton Zadroik makes the play. Air Force burns timeout number 1, and we return in 30. If you're Andy Avalos, you're thinking 1st and 10. Let's get a couple yards. Let's move the sticks. Not let's lose yardage. And Air Force forces a 4-yard loss, and it backs Boise State up to the 17-yard line.
And that's the worst possible of outcomes on that first down play, because it may mean that Boise State has to put this ball in the air, and if it's incomplete, that also stops the clock, which can preserve a timeout for Air Force.
They have not used Taylon Green in the run game much in this one. And that's El Elyon Noah, and he's back to the 20-yard line, gain of 3, and timeout number 2 for Air Force.
So they've got 1 left. If you're Boise, you're handing this ball off on a dive and just trying to bleed 42 or 43 of the minute 17 that's left.
And you don't dare put it in the air because an incompletion stops the clock.
No, but you could run a boot and get your quarterback out on the outside edge to make it look like you're going to throw, and if it's there, you take a wide open shot. We know he's best on the outside edge, or you tell him to run the football and stay in bounds. But that's what Dirk Cutter, who got elevated from an analyst a couple weeks ago, is the decision that they have to make.
Has Boise State gone away from that, Green on the perimeter, or has Air Force taken it away from them?
That's a good question. He's made some throws there, but he's also made some throws from the pocket. So I think it's been more play calling than actual stops we've seen from Air Force.
3rd and 11. He pulls it straight ahead, and Green breaking tackles, got the first down. There you go, back to Green on the run game, and Boise State with a first down, a minute left, and this should be the ball game.
What an incredible play call, and Air Force did not defend this well. Their defense was out of position. Vince Sanford and those guys, nobody accounted for the quarterback. Great play call there by Dirk Cutter.
Victory formation. Air Force has a timeout. You saw Cutter screaming, hurry up. Didn't want the play clock to expire. Well, this is a gutsy win for Boise State if nothing goes horribly wrong here. Without George Holani to begin the night, their leading rusher, Ashton Genty had a nice first half. He didn't play in the second half. He's been in the locker room the whole time. Look at the smile on Dirk Cutter's face right there. He's working with a redshirt freshman quarterback, and he kept it and got the first down. And the Broncos feel like they're going to walk out of here at 4-0 in the Mountain West.
They were held to 94 yards rushing so far, under 100 yards. This is an offense, Rich, that the last 2 weeks in a row identically putting up 316 rush yards. George Holani doesn't play. Ashton Genty leaves the game and hasn't been spotted in this second half. And they're out there with smoke and mirrors on a road against a defense that has played lights out, made a ton of penalties on the offensive side, and still found a way to get a win to go to 4-0 in conference.
Air Force trying a little trickery there, an early jump at the center. Flags are down.
It's desperation time for the Falcons, but this one's in the books.
Have you ever seen that work in all your offensive lineman days?
No, but there's a lot of things we've never seen before that win you ball games, and that's really a testament to Air Force. This was ugly football by the Falcons, particularly offensively in that first half. Their first 4 drives were 3 and outs or ended up in turnovers, yet they had a real legit chance here at the end, and weren't for a holding penalty, might have scored a touchdown here late.
Play. Offside with contact, Air Force, That 5-yard penalty is enforced. After the play, on sportsmanlike conduct, Boise State, number 69. That 15-yard penalty will also be enforced. It's number 69's first on sportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. Remains second down.
Garrett Kern's kind of been in the middle of a lot of stuff tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's the enforcer up there. But that's what you need, man. You need somebody that carries the axe handle. And this is an offensive line that's gotten much maligned. The fans have been on them, and rightfully so. Those first 2 games, that film was ugly. The last 2, it was pretty, and this one wasn't pretty, but they got it done when they needed to, particularly on that last drive, and that's commendable.
Air Force on the doorstep, committed a holding penalty on what looked like a first down, held on the 4th down. Boise State gets the first down on a gutsy run by the redshirt freshman Taylon Green. Andy Avalos, in a complete team makeover 3 weeks ago, now sits at 4-0 and absolutely in the driver's seat in the Northern Division, or the Mountain Division, to get to the Mountain West championship game.
Rich, to be a championship team, you got to find a way sometimes to win ugly, and Boise State did that here tonight against a formidable opponent. Yes, there were penalties. Yes, there were mistakes, but there were also injuries. But this team found a way, and that counts for something. And to your point, they are in the driver's seat down the stretch, and this was a huge, huge hurdle for them. Colorado State, they'll be favored. Brigham Young got beat by Liberty today. Nevada on the road at Wyoming's tough, and Utah State at home is tough. But this is where you want to be midseason if you're a Bronco.
And if you're Air Force, you've looked a lot better than your record. 2-3 right now in the Mountain West. And the alma mater, a tradition here at Air Force. And the Bronco players over to join. Air Force still has a chance to win that Commander-in-Chief's trophy if they can beat Army. Boise State, you mapped it out. They got Colorado State coming here. Colorado State beat Hawaii today, is now 2-1. BYU on the road at Nevada. Nevada's struggling. On the road at Wyoming. There have been some great games there. Think about the Josh Allen throw and the safety late a few years ago with Wyoming at home against Boise State, and then Utah State at home to finish.
Yeah, some of those games are underway. Colorado State won, but the remaining record of their Mountain West opponents as it sits right now with games underway is 11-17. So for Boise State to sit here at 4-0, we started the show talking about it. You win this game, you're in the driver's seat, and that is exactly where they're at.
There's some great reality shows on about makeovers, right? Extreme makeovers, the Property Brothers, all those things. But Andy Avalos may start his own reality show. How do you make over a football team in 3-4 weeks' time? They've done that.
And wins like this make his job easier. This is where you build confidence, where it's ugly, but you still find a way. So the message in there is, guys, that's a way to find a way to get it done. That gives you confidence, the thing that Dirk Cutter and everybody on this team knew was missing from the offense, to take yourself forward. And playing the way that they play defense, Boise State's a dangerous team and is going to have a straight shot to the conference championship game, barring some injuries or something crazy.
Well, speaking of that, they're going to have to get George Holani and Ashton Genty healthy, the 1-2 running back punch. Maloney didn't play. Genty didn't play in the second half. Sherry Burris is down with Andy Avalos. Sherry?
Well, Coach, your defense continued to be a bright spot. Air Force had a late push there, but your defense bending and not breaking. How did they do it?
Well, this is a very difficult team to play against. From the scheme, they're extremely physical, they're persistent. Obviously, there's no quit. There's always fight. You know, it's a tribute to their coaching staff and what they do here at Air Force, and we had to match that. And just really proud of the way the defense stepped up here at the end, came down, you know, to that last play in the red zone over here. Just really proud of the whole team all together, playing together. There's plenty of things we'll need to get better from this, but, you know, just really proud of the guys coming out of the bye week, how they worked in the bye week, how they grew tighter, how they grew closer. We knew we were going to have to be our best here today to accomplish our mission and be 1-0.
Well, congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, back to you, birthday boy.
Thank you, Sherry. What a game here. It wasn't pretty, but it was thrilling at the end, and Boise State holds on. For Aaron Taylor, Sherry Burris, our entire CBS Sports crew, I'm Rich Schwartz. This is a presentation of CBS Sports Network, 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Back to our New York studios for Inside College Football. Amanda Guerra, Kevin Carter, Houston Nutt, and, of course, San Diego State coming up at Nevada.